right now, which is titled Unlocking Growth in a Privacy-First World, Benchmarks, Strategies, and Technologies. This report is all set to explore essential benchmarks, innovative strategies, and cutting-edge technologies that are shaping the future of marketing in today's time. It's my humble honor and privilege to welcome over here, as I take this opportunity to call upon stage, Mr. Abhimanyu Vyas, Business Head, PivotConsult, I beg your pardon, the Martech arm of PivotRoots, the Havas Company. He's all set to tell us a lot more about this report. Give it up loudly for him, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And I request you to take it forward from here.
We all know that digital is at the crossroads right now. Like Kunal and Jwala were just talking about some time back. Like Kunal and Jwala were just talking some time back. We see marketers generally, focus a lot of their energy on growth. Last couple of years have also been all about, Gen AI, conversational AI, and then, kind of using database segmentations. We all are now familiar with the concept of hyper-personalization. How do we create that segment of one? How do we kind of make sure that everything touches, the right nooks and corners of the consumers that we are trying to target? However, on the other side, there is the whole landscape of, the privacy-first world, which kind of limits marketers as to how should they effectively target users without kind of barging in to the privacy rights of the consumers. This started, some time back in Europe, which most of you must be familiar with GDPR, which came into picture, in 2019 in Europe. India has also passed a similar act in 2023, which affects, all the marketers like us, but not a lot of us are familiar. So what we entail to do, what this report covers, is what has led to, the privacy shift. What are the pioneers like Apple, like Google, doing in this space, and why are the rest, are forced to follow? Second, what should marketers like us look to do in this, in the privacy first era? How do we still achieve that growth and data-driven marketing without barging into the privacy space? And thirdly, we conducted a survey of top marketers, CXO level professionals in India. And, the report covers what is the awareness on privacy first era in India, what are the steps that marketers are doing, and then we kind of even give details as to what could be done to mitigate the marketing or the risks that marketers are presented with in the privacy first world. So I think I believe, once you go through the report, there will be a lot that the report will try to cover, and looking forward to kind of taking this forward.
Done. Give it up once again for him, please, sir. Are you done with the presentation? Give it up once again loudly, please, ladies and gentlemen, for him. Thank you so much. I'll ask you to kindly wait. And it's important that I call few people over here to take this report forward. So I'll be requesting the presence of certain individuals over here who have actually played a very key role when it comes to conceptualizing and working on this report to come up on stage and join Mr. Abhimanyu over here on stage. I'd like to call upon stage Mrs. Bijoya Ghosh, founder and CEO of Adgully, alongside Ms. Hetal Khalsa, co-founder and Chief Creative Officer, PivotRoots, a Havas Company, Mr. Ashok Shinde, Vice President, Media and Strategy, PivotRoots, a Havas Company, Miss Manasi Mody, Principal, Ipsos Strategy 3. Can I please request all of them to kindly come up on stage, and I please request all of you to give a huge round of applause for all of them for putting this report together. I request the team to kindly present the frames for all of us for this report, and a quick announcement to one and all. The report that has been discussed right now, that's all set to be launched right now, it's available for downloading as well. You need to just scan the QR code that's on your table over there, and you can download the full report right from there itself. Also, you can visit the Havas stand in the pre-function area for more details for downloading or any other purpose. We'll do a group photo with all of them together. Thank you. Can I please request all of you to come a little forward? Do you want them to come a little forward, the photographers? Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen in the room, can I please expect and appreciate the presence of all of them, and I request all of you to kindly please clap and give it up loudly for all of them. Thank you. We also will be opening the floor up for questions because it's an interactive day at the end of the day. So we want interaction, we want questions, we want queries. We have the stalwarts over here. It's difficult to get all of them under the same roof all at one time. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise your hands and we'll be passing the mic. Anybody has any question regarding the report? Yeah, anybody has any question over here? Then we can take the questions forward. Do we have questions? I almost feel like an auctioneer over here. Please, ma'am, do the... Can I please have mics for all of them? They'll not be able to speak without the mics. Can I please request more mics, please, on stage quickly? Let's get going, team. More mics, please. Oh, yeah. Can we have two more for them, please?
This. Yeah.
Let's pass the mics quickly, please. Here you go.
Thank you. That's better. So, as Abhimanyu briefly spoke about, this genesis of this whole report is about how can we create awareness about this new trends that's emerging about being privacy compliant, and how can we enable privacy first marketing for the folks here. The few challenges that really emerges in today's evolving digital landscape, from a marketer's perspective, is how can they still continue to reach out to people whom they think are most valuable for them. And being in this privacy first world, a lot of things are changing. A lot of controls are given to the end user. They determine whether they want to share their browsing activity with a advertiser or the website they are really on to it. And what that leads to is, like, the advertisers who are looking to collect this data, they need to seek that intent from the user to be able to voluntarily share this by either communicating what this data will be used for, which could be for purpose of personalization, which could be for purpose of maybe helping them figuring out what they should be doing next on their platform. I'll just give in a very simple example that I, as a user, faced on YouTube when they launched Shorts in India. This was actually about a year or year and a half back. I was one of the person or user who was not really willing to trade my browsing data with YouTube. What that led to me as an individual is I was seeing very similar, not even similar. So let's say it was just showing me top 10 videos. It was not really recognizing what kind of content that I wanted to watch on the platform. And I would think maybe this is not working for me. But eventually, I think they kept pushing for, we are not able to understand what are your preference while we know you're browsing these videos, but we cannot use into your algorithm to cater content for you. So once that awareness kicked in, I had to probably let that consent be given to YouTube for them to customize my content. So it's important for marketers, they are going to be able to communicate this to the end user, why this information is needed. Secondly, for marketers, as Abhimanyu mentioned, is the growth. And the growth really comes in with us advertising digitally, offline, and digital always had this
The
advantage.
privacy first era.
So see, consent management is that's a very good question. Consent management is a solution that, all the marketers should look to adopt. We've seen what consent management basically does is it obtains that explicit consent that I was talking about. So be it for retargeting, be it for any kind of communication, across any channel, SMS, paid platforms, or any other medium. You need to use consent management set, that's one of the essential technology backbone to, get the consent and then retarget or engage with the customer. The important part of consent management is that, the UI of consent management or the way you're obtaining consent, that also needs to be, attractive. A lot of times we go to websites where, it seems that everybody has probably, the journey part that Hetal was talking about, it seems that they've just kind of across industries, carbon copied the consent piece that you see on the footer, that, you want to reject all cookies or accept all cookies and, different kind of consent. So I think that needs to be created in a manner where it kind of also looks attractive, kind of conveys the information to the users that, what are they signing up for, and that's the essential part of it.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think I leave it to you guys. You're the experts. You've done the in-depth, inciting on this one. But just to take a personal example, even I'm wary of, really giving my consent, whenever I go to any website. For instance, you mentioned YouTube. It's only when I feel there's a compulsion, I go ahead with it. So the trust point that you mentioned is extremely important, because you need to give confidence to your users that your data is safe. And it's not that just one-time effort. You'll have to keep bombarding it, and bombarding in a good way. It's only then that trust is built up. So the tools, the ROI that I've spoken about in the report is extremely important, and it needs to be done fast, keeping in mind the cohorting that she also spoke about.
And in all honesty, to capture that trust, it is very important to have them optimized or customized. If I have that liberty as a user to customize, I feel this is a trusted platform and you're not kind of using the data otherwise. So that's very important.
Thank you.
Very well put up, ma'am. Very well put up. So any more questions? We have space for one more question. Sir, I'll request you to kindly ask a question.
Hello, my name is Rahul Saxena. My question is, how can marketing measure the effectiveness of their campaign and optimize the strategy in a world with a limited tracking and attribution capabilities?
Sure. I did briefly touch upon earlier. See, essentially with this privacy-first measurement coming in place, a lot of bigger wall gardens such as Meta or Google itself have been forced to look at alternative measurement, which essentially means just pivoting away from the traditional cookie-based tracking or measurement to a more evolved measurement which will rely on, let's say, cohorts, or it could be on, very, very specific identifiers. So it's actually two extreme points have been merged into this, which is being deterministic wherever possible and being probabilistic wherever one can be for it. So it's an aggregation of these two methods that largely is being played out by both Meta in form of something they call it actually CAPI, which is conversion API, and for Google it is EC, which is called as enhanced conversion for it. And there are other robust models that's also been built around, which is Ads Data Hub, which is a data clean room solution by Google for it. And then it becomes a way for marketers, if they're spending X, while in past they were able to very accurately identify what's really happening with that investment. Now they need to enable these tracking on their maybe websites, app, and this goes beyond. It probably needs to ingest your data from CRM, from people who are walking to a showroom in case you happen to be in a retail. So a lot of that data, which is sitting offline, also needs to be ingested digitally for it to be work more accurately for it. So that's the way of measuring it. In terms of tracking, as I said, a lot of this is actually depends on the consent management, how well each website and a lot of these things is also boils down to about, let's say, the two biggest platform. I think most of us will be spending much of our digital sort of time, which is in Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. They already have a lot of this consent in place. That allows us to be able to target these users accurately depending on the behavior we are depicting on these platforms for advertiser to leverage for it.
Thank you so much, sir. Give a huge round of applause to all of them, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.